Guys, it's Megan, and I was gonna say that I'm back with another vlog, but this is very much so not not a vlog. We are going to be taking an inside look to my budgeting template that I created. So outside of, vlogs and beauty and fashion and home decor and being a mom and all these other things. I also like genuinely have a passion for personal finance and budgeting. And so I created a template that is actually very, very, very user friendly and easy to use. And also it's $9 to purchase. I have and I said it's beginner friendly, but, like, I have this thing where I believe at the very base level, if somebody is learning how to budget efficiently and effectively, like, I shouldn't be charging them $1 trillion in order to do so, and they're trying to do right in their budget. And so I was very conscious about the price point for this one. Now, there is going to be an upgrade to it that's going to be a premium budget template that is going to have like a full scope of your financial dashboard available on it at a later time in Q2. But for now, we are going to focus on this simple budgeting template. So, why did I create this? When I look back and I think back about what it meant to be my younger self, I was a young mom and also got married super young. And it's like, okay, me and my husband were married and we had, a 2-year old. And so, what would I have wanted for myself, or what foundation would I have wanted to lay for my family at that point in time when I was younger? I'm gonna be quite honest with you guys. I did not budget or anything prior to meeting my husband because um my parents took care of me, and I'm just no shade, no tea, like they did, and I'm not gonna lie about it. It's just what it is. And so I didn't know anything about budgeting money until it's like, oh, now I have this whole other person to care for, like this live human being. And also I need to take into consideration the spending habits of the person that I'm in love with. Great. So, with that being said, I created a budgeting template that is very simple to follow. It's literally just a plug and play for you. And I think that my younger self would appreciate this a lot more in understanding like what it is to budget. And it might, I mean, okay, I'm like a nerd at heart. I consider it to be fun. Other people may not, but I consider it to be fun, like, making, like, a cozy little cute, like, date night, and you light candles and drink wine and you go over your budget. I mean, that could go one of 2 ways. It could be really good or really bad, depending. But, also just, like, taking into consideration, like, I'm a spender and my husband is a saver. So how do we, like, for lack of better terminology, marry the 2? See what I did there? How do we marry the 2 where both people that are in the relationship get what they want? And so in this budgeting template, I created a savings tracker. I created a Snowball debt also, so you can follow along there. But I think that's what's really cool with like the savings tracker is you can actually like quantify your progress, because I put in a little bar that shows you how close you are to actually reaching your goal. And so I think that that's really cool. I think that with the debt snowball effect, you can look at the percentage that is associated with the interest rates, and maybe you have a credit card that's not the smallest amount, but it does have the highest interest rate, and you want to pay that off first. Like, it gives you full scale visibility of what is going on with your finances. Also, I already included and locked the formulas associated with. Anyways, there are formulas that are already incorporated. So it's like it takes out the guesswork, and I'm just, as you can see, like, I'm very giddy about my spreadsheet because I'm very happy about it. And so I want you guys to view it with me. We're gonna do a live walkthrough so you can see it. Barkay is my puppy that is a miniature dachshund. He will be joining us, I guess, as a guest star today. All he's going to do is sleep the whole time. So, nothing too exciting out of him. But, anyways, we're going to have an opportunity to actually walk through the template so that you guys can see how it is structured before you buy. And yes, I'm saying before you buy because I'm speaking it into fruition. I'm speaking it into existence. I'm manifesting that we are going to sell these and get everybody on a really great and strong financial path and have financially stable times ahead of us. Like it's Q2, let's lock in. Without further ado, let's take a look at the spreadsheet. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. Start here. So, I really think that it's important to highlight the fact that you can look at what is inside this budget system. So January to December, savings goal tracker, as we discussed in the introduction, debt payoff tracker, and the start here tab. Now, what I do want to say is if you don't use USD and you don't use US dollars, that's perfectly fine. You can convert to whatever currency it is, you know, that you're gonna actually use. So that's the last thing that I wanted is for this not to be one user friendly, beginner friendly, but I want you to be able to utilize the budgeting template in the actual currency that you utilize wherever you are. So let's go ahead and jump into the savings goal tracker. Okay, so just like we discussed before, the savings goal tracker actually has a progress bar for you to be able to see how much progress you're making towards your goals. So, in the emergency fund, I thought that it was really important to shed some light on what is remaining and also what you have contributed to this fund right now. So, for myself, how I utilize the savings goal tracker is I have our emergency fund, our vacation fund. My oldest child is going to medical school, so I have funds that are allocated to that. And then we are going to be buying a new house in 2 years and it's going to be a custom build. So I have a home down payment that is on there. And I also just have like another row for customizations that we might want in our home. So that's how I customize the savings goal tracker for myself and my family so that I would have full scale of what it is I'm saving for, how what the dollar amount is associated with that. Also, super important that you're able to see like the total amount. In this sample savings goal tracker, the total amount was $57,300. Yours might be around 23,000. It might be around 800. Whatever it is that is important to you for your savings goal, make sure you dump it into this tab. Now let's move on to the debt payoff tracker. So you might want to go completely opposite of the snowball effect and you might want to actually so you might actually want to pay off your largest debt first and then go down and pay off your smallest debt. And if that tickles your fancy, like have at it. But here you can actually prioritize what debts are important for you to pay off first, second, third, all of those things. What I found it important to highlight here is just opportunities that I saw within other budgeting systems that I have utilized in the past and how I would like to make them better or to make improvements. You might also decide that whatever your debt is that has the highest interest rate, like this one right here, the store credit card that's 24.99%, that might be where you want to put the majority of your focus and the majority of your coins because the interest rate is so high. So make sure like the name of the game is tailor and customizations. Make sure you are utilizing this template to where it actually benefits you. Also, I like the fact that I added the minimum payment because I think that's really important to see because things come up, right? It's life. And let's say that you had an emergency that you need to pay for, but you also have line of sight of what your minimum payment is that you can make towards your debt, and so you don't have to freak out. Just make sure you make that minimum payment because we don't want our credit scores impacted. That's a huge no-no. Okay, now moving on to the star of the show, which is the monthly tabs that are associated with the budgeting spreadsheet. So, the monthly tabs that we have here, I know that we're not in January. Okay, so for the sake of us actually being correct, let's go to April. Okay, so we are in April when we're filming this video, but it'll actually be May when you guys see this. But for the month of April, um, I wanted to add in additional income, and let me tell you why. Because outside of my normal 9 to 5 job that I have in corporate America, I'm also a creator, and that's why you see me here. And so there are times where I land brand deals, or I have 8 different income streams, and we can talk about that in another video, but I have 8 different income streams that contribute to me being a creator. And so I have affiliate income and digital products and all those different things. And so when it comes to additional income on top of what I make and what my husband makes, there might be like an additional $10,000, or a brand deal came through and that's an additional $25,000. Whatever the case may be is actually accounted for in additional income. So let's say that there are others that are entrepreneurs and you have a business that you run, and maybe you also have a 9 to 5 job, or maybe you're a barista, whatever it is. I wanted to make sure that we provided space for that right here. Also, I would like to say that leftover from the previous month deserves a spot that we need to talk about. So let's say that in March you carried over $500 from the previous month, no guesswork or anything like that. The sheet will automatically grab that. I secured a formula to where it'll actually grab that information and throw it into your budgeting spreadsheet for the next month. So that's great. Also, the leftover amount, because if you're like me, you are very motivated by money. Okay. And so if you see that you're going to have $8,880 left over, and all you have to do is make sure that you go by these behaviors that are in this actual budgeting tool and the spreadsheet that you have input, then that might be what the motivation that you need. Now, the other side of that is you might see that you have more money left over than what you thought you had left over, and you might want to spend it. So, like I said in the beginning, I'm the spender out of myself and my husband. And so I like to buy things, but I like to be responsible about my purchases. So basically, you have a category for every single place here, and I find that to be really, really beneficial. So you have all your utilities in one spot, you have all of your food in one spot, family. So for electricity, like let's say that for now, or just for organization, you say, "Oh, well, my electric, I'm not gonna pay with that. I'm not gonna pay for that with my first check. I'm gonna do it with my second check," and that hits like the 3rd week of the month. You can go in here and mark that as pending. And maybe you did pay your water bill during the first check that you received, so you're going to mark that as paid. And like maybe you want to save your cell phone bill for later on in the month, so you mark that as pending. That gives you full scale view of what has already been taken care of and what's already off of your plate, and also what expenses you need to account for. Now, when we come down here into the family tab, the way that I utilize this for myself is my 19-year-old, my 15-year-old, and my 12-year-old, they get allowance at the beginning of every month. It goes automatically to their debit cards on the account that they actually completed the tasks that are associated with them getting said allowance. And so, I make sure that I account for it here, so their allowances are set up to be accounted for in our budget. And now as we work our way down tuition, I don't wanna talk about her because we are paying arm and leg for tuition. And then we'll go down to when you look at your savings, your emergency fund, vacation fund, sinking fund, those are also being tracked in your savings goal tracker, but you have a place for them to have a home here. So that is really good. Now, I also want to let me scroll back up and we can discuss. Mm, 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 mm. I know I put a space in here for envelope money. Okay. Yes, on rows 45 and 46. So we have envelope money between myself and my husband, and it's just money that I can use on clothes or makeup or hair products or hair appointments. And I use that for myself. It gets issued every 2 weeks. And so we get it like clockwork for our individual accounts. What I would like to say is like we use this also to just like surprise each other with impromptu dates, and I really like that. I really like being able to surprise my husband being like, "No, big mama's got it. Like don't you put your wallet away. Let me treat you." So that's how we use our envelope money. It's just basically like, "Hey, anything else that you want to spend, it's like a guilt-free amount of money that you can spend at your own discretion." And now let's go all the way to the bottom and take a look at this. Miscellaneous is also something that I felt like was missing from other spreadsheets that I have purchased in the past because life happens and our kids play volleyball, soccer, football. I will have the best intentions of cooking that night and we're just busy and I don't end up cooking. And so we go and get food. Food is accounted for there. Whatever the miscellaneous budget is, we account for it there and we take it out in that location. Now you see the total of your monthly expenses is $6,620 here at the bottom. And when you scroll to the top, it is also here in row 12 as being a part of your monthly bills. And so that really wraps up the actual template, and now I'm gonna go back to my camera. Okay, thank you so much for spending that time with me and walking through the budgeting template. I really appreciate your time because I know that it's super valuable. I'm going to link it down below. You can take this budgeting sheet home with you today for only $9. And we want you to have that in your possession. We want you to be financially stable. We want you to have a good hold of your money. And we started Q2, April, beginning of April, and so we wanna make more conscious financial decisions. This is not the first time that you will see me talk about this budgeting template. I'll create other videos that are associated with it, but make sure you click the link down below and you purchase this for yourself. Also, feel free to reach out to me directly, hello@megandmayfield.com if you have any issues with the budgeting template, and I am more than happy to walk through it with you and have a conversation with you about it. And maybe we set up some time to see how it would be best utilized in your unique situation. Thank you guys so much. Grab the budgeting template. It's $9. You got it. Hey, you know what? I'm not gonna tell you to miss out on your trip to Dunkin' or Starbucks or Dutch Bros or Seven Brew, but like for real, shorty, you could buy this budgeting template for like the price that you pay for a cup of coffee, but I want you to have coffee too and be happy. So yeah, I'll link it down below. Please let me know if you enjoyed this video. Let's think of something that we can say down below. If you have ever utilized a budgeting template, Barcaeus wants to be up here. Hi. Hi, buddy. If you have ever utilized a budgeting template in the past or a spreadsheet, what do you wish that template had that like you did not see on it or you it didn't have but you actually like needed it for your day to day or for your life? Drop me a comment down below. Make sure you like and subscribe and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.